Greetings, nerds. In this episode of Snapadelphia, which is the 6th episode, I'm going to be working on 2 areas in one episode, in one video. Those 2 areas are called Old Town and Murphy Square. Old Town is this area here. Murphy Square is this area. So, without further ado, let's hop right into it. Alright, nerds. So I'm going to work on Murphy Square first. Then after I get through with Murphy Square, I'm going to work on Old Town, since it's a little bit of a bigger area compared to Murphy Square. Without further ado, let's get to the drawing process. So the area that I'm currently working on, which is Murphy Square is a small area in the Snapadelphia drawing and the city of Snapadelphia. Murphy Square is a small area that's named after one of the 3 founders of Snapchat, Bobby Murphy, who's a Filipino-American entrepreneur. Yeah, I decided to name that area after him. And the area focuses on row homes and that the town square, which is a public park called Murphy Square. And I know I said this earlier in the season. Snapadelphia is going to be based on the U.S. city Philadelphia, and if you go to Philadelphia, you'll find lots of town squares and parks that are named after a famous person. And that's exactly what I did in the drawing. I named a few town squares after someone. Yep, those are definitely a similarity there. Murphy Square also not only focuses on row homes, a town square called Murphy Square, it's also going to focus on stores too. This music has a little bit of a similar feel to the GTA San Andreas theme music. To be honest, it sounds a little bit similar to the San Andreas theme music. To those that are a huge fan of the GTA franchise. Old Town. So the Old Town area of Snapadelphia that I'm working on before I could get to the end of this episode of Snapadelphia, Old Town is just an area of the drawing and the city that focuses on old row buildings and cobblestone, well, not cobblestone, but brick roads. Because in most cities, I think in Rome, I know some parts of Philadelphia, I think Chicago too, but several cities across the world have areas that focuses on old times, let's say from like the 18th century, where you'll find lots of old looking buildings, especially row buildings that's brownstone and maybe limestone, I believe. I don't know if I said that right. And brick roads. That's how old town areas are like. Before tar was used for roads, tar, oil, and glass, just almost every city has old buildings first, and then they start to meet the newer buildings, and these buildings just mix together. First we get old buildings, now modern buildings are just joining the party. That's how most cities are like.
and we are almost done here. We are nearly done. Just a few more spots to fill. Then it's going to be the conclusion time of this episode of Snapadelphia.
Okay, nerds. Two of these areas are officially complete. And here is Murphy Square. It's a little public park. Here's a Stephen Hillenberg Elementary School, a small elementary school right here. We got more row homes. We got lots of shops. Here is, I don't know if you can see this, where I'm pointing at. Here's Evan Spiegel Museum. And Evan Spiegel, he is one of the founders of Snapchat, so I decided to name a museum after him. I drew more palm trees, regular trees. I don't know if you can see all of these trees. I drew a few old school mansions in this little area, this little territory here. And here as well. Here's a little music hall. It's actually called Slimer Music Hall, and Slimer, he's one of the famous ghosts. He's one of the characters in the movie Ghostbusters. And Snapchat has that famous Ghostface Chilla. And here's Bob Ross Park. And here is Garland Square. Garland Square, it's another public park, town plaza, or whatever you call it. But you know that actress from the movie The Wizard of Oz, Judy Garland? I decided to name this place after her. And here is Old Town in Murphy Square. Alright, nerds, that's going to be the end. That's going to be the end of this episode of Snapadelphia. Stay tuned for more episodes and more art content. I hope this episode was really enjoyable to watch. I will catch you nerds later. Hope you nerds enjoy your weekend. Also, feel free to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out. But then again, I hope you nerds have a wonderful, a good, wonderful weekend.
Dork alert.